Hello, everybody. I'm David Frei, and I'm the volunteer spokesperson for the American Heart Association's International Heart Classic Virtual Dog Show. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining Canine Chronicle and the American Heart Association, but most of all, joining our very special guest, attorney, author, advocate, TV personality, and American Heart Association National Volunteer, Star Jones. Star, we're thrilled you're with us here today.
Oh, David, hello, and hello to all of you at home. I am very excited to be here today. I am in beautiful surroundings. I can social distance with myself. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome, but I know we don't see her in the picture just yet, but I know you're not alone. Tell us about your partner there.
There's a little munchkin right here. This is my baby. This is Mimi. Mimi is my service animal. She makes my heart much better every single time I have to hold her. It's really interesting. Having had open heart surgery, this baby in my arms makes me only have to take that one aspirin a day and a beta blocker not as often. So yes, Mimi is here with me today.
That's great. Well, welcome to
Mimi
you
likes
and
to
Mimi.
laugh, so she wants to sit down. She told me.
She must have she's got a good agent, I guess. Huh?
There you go. That's right. Maybe that's enough for me right
Star,
now.
you and I go back a few years. We met years ago on The View when you were one of the original hosts of The View years ago. And I would always bring in the Westminster Best in Show winner the day after the show. Do you remember those days?
Yes, absolutely. And it was interesting because back in the day, I wasn't the biggest dog person in the world. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, actually.
I was not the biggest dog person in the world. And then I got my very first baby, my Pinky, who
I remember that.
Yes, she went on to the Rainbow Bridge after we were together for 14 years, and she got me through some of the best ups and downs and sideways. So she was my very, very first healthcare service animal. And I think she sent Mimi to me when she went on to the Rainbow Bridge. You know why? Because Mimi was born on my actual birthday.
Wow.
So that's why her name is Mimi. She's my Pinky. Yes.
Well, I just recently lost a Cavalier 4 months ago and just got another Cavalier to carry on for her. She's not replacing her, but she's carrying on for her.
We always love Mimi as Pinky's little sister.
Well, we call this one in honor of our previous dog named Angel. We call her Angel 2.0. So we have a lot of fun with her.
I don't know what we'd do without these precious ones. I really don't.
It's really something else. But you know, you're local. You're a Jersey girl. I know all about those Jersey girls because I married one.
So I was raised right in Trenton, New Jersey. As a matter of fact, David, this morning, I just approved the scholarship recipient that receives an educational scholarship in honor of my late mother and her work in social services in the Trenton, New Jersey area. So we always want to give back to a young student who is interested in public service. And so we made this selection today. It was wonderful. So
that's great. Well, congratulations to your winner. That's great. Yes. So we got you as a pet owner and a pet lover. But what a perfect fit for you with the AHA, with their Healthy Bond for Life, and with the Heart Association as well. The American Heart Association brings you an even greater connection because you're a veteran of heart disease and open heart surgery. You want to tell us about that?
Absolutely. But you know what, David, as I just look back for just a little bit, we know that so many events are being canceled because of the pandemic. And for the American Heart Association, clearly it's no different. There's a lot of fundraising events like Heart Walks and the Go Red for Women luncheons, which I am always happy to go and meet more Heart Sisters. And so more and more things have gone virtual for the time being. And since we have this amazing new initiative focused on heart health benefits of pet companionship, which you know is the Healthy Bond for Life, we knew we wanted to do something in the pet world too. So with dog shows also being affected, you're not going to be able to take the babies over to the View this time. we saw there was an opening, obviously, and we said, hey, there's a real gap to fill here. And that's how the idea for the International Heart Classic Virtual Dog Show came to be. And so Mimi and I, we're going to participate in the virtual show. We're just going to make sure we're there to cheer on all the other babies.
Are you going to enter? I want to see you shoot a video of you and Mimi.
Hey, Mimi. You want to enter the virtual show? Mimi's like, I don't know if I put.
She's going to check with her agent.
She's a check with her agent, absolutely. But yes, I have to tell you, being national volunteer for the American Heart Association has really just opened my eyes to all kinds of things that we can do to lend ourselves to more heart health.
There's a lot of things that go on in the world of animal health that relate to humans, and heart disease is one of them. Cancer is another. I have a breed, my Cavalier. That breed has some heart issues from time to time. So we're involved with a research project with some people, researchers at Tufts University, who are now partnering with the American Heart Association, and ultimately for the benefit of my dog, which ultimately benefits people as well.
Well, I'm not sure if your audience is fully aware that I am, when I say I'm a heart disease survivor, I actually had open heart surgery. This is my 10th anniversary.
Wow.
And it was in March. And Mimi serves lots of purposes in my life, if nothing else but to cuddle. But as a heart disease survivor, I can share with you that I just was in tune with my body, David. I knew something was wrong. I knew that it was not normal for me to be tremendously fatigued. And I'm not talking that I am so busy, I can't keep all the balls in the air kind of busy that women often have, but I'm talking fatigue like I could almost not get out of the bed. I would get some intense heart palpitations. If I would go from seated to standing too quickly, then I would get lightheaded. And I knew that that was not right. Now, I can tell you that my breathing had always been labored. And I don't know if you remember that from visiting me on The View, but you'll remember it's because I was extremely obese. I was, I weighed at one point 300 pounds at 5'5". And then I worked with my doctors and had successful weight loss surgery. I lost 160 pounds, and over the last 15 years, I've now kept off 140 of those 160. So it's my greatest achievement in my whole life.
Good for you.
So what I'm saying is I didn't have the weight to blame it on. And once I knew that there was something else going on in my life, something going on in my body, I went to see a cardiologist and was diagnosed with heart disease, and the prognosis was I needed open heart surgery to save my life.
But you didn't know that you were in the throes of heart disease when you went to see him. You just thought something was not right.
Absolutely not. And that's something that women all over, we do that, quite frankly. We tend to ignore our symptoms. You know, when we have a significant other in our home, our spouse or our child, we will, if there's a cough, they're going to the pediatrician, they're going to the internist. But for us, literally, we'll be writhing on the floor having a coronary, and we'll be worried about whether or not the kitchen is clean. So women are the natural nurturers and the natural caretakers, but we have to put ourselves on the top of our own to-do list. And I'm grateful to God and blessed, I'd like to say, that I did put myself on the top of my to-do list. I listened to my body. I went in to see the cardiologist, and Dr. Fuster said that the open heart surgery would be necessary to correct an abnormality. So for all practical purposes, I had, I selected to have open heart surgery. It wasn't a coronary event.
Yeah.
That put me into the hospital.
But you're talking about things that we're talking about taking care of the caregiver.
Right.
You have to be healthy as a caregiver so you can take care of the people that you need to take care of.
You know what we always say, if mama ain't healthy, ain't nobody healthy.
My wife worked for years at the Ronald McDonald House in New York City and built a women's wellness center there with a grant that takes care of the mothers of the children who are there. So we're well aware of what goes on with the caregivers, that they are always putting themselves at the end of the line. So
yes,
that's
sir.
great.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about pet ownership and talk about the healthy bond for life and how Pinky first and then Mimi helped carry you through all of this.
I have to tell you, being a pet owner has really helped me maintain better physical and mental health. Having Pinky initially, it's interesting how God places things in your life and you don't really know when you're going to need them My dear friend at 47 years old, my good girlfriend, had a massive stroke one day. She did yoga every single day, was as fit as you can be, and she had a massive stroke. And because of that, I had to go down to Washington, D.C. to take care of her. And I didn't know what to do with my sweet, wonderful Pinky. So I actually enrolled her in the dog therapy program there at the hospital while I was trying to take care of my friend. And Pinky became one of the animals in the pet therapy program for the stroke victims um, in Washington, D.C. So she got trained. Interestingly enough, 8 months later, I was the one diagnosed with heart disease.
Well, so she had somebody to practice on before she got to
Practiced
you.
on before she got to Mama,
Well,
and then she was there with me the whole time of the recovery, and all the way through to my marriage to my husband and me becoming a mom for the first time. And then, of course, Mimi came in to our lives, and I have to tell you, having both of them has helped me keep fit, lowered the amount of stress in my life, and my blood pressure is at great levels. It can help you with your cholesterol and your blood sugar, and it can actually boost your overall happiness. I can tell you that. What we know at the American Heart Association, that dog owners are much more likely to be fit and to do recommended physical activity than those who don't have a dog, because most times you need to walk with them or you need to exercise. And I know that social distancing that we're all in the throes of experiences, keeping people in their homes all day, pets give you a reason to go outside, to get some fresh air and to get active. So studies are also showing that physical activity, has many benefits for your mental health. And I know that my life is so much more complete because of the it makes me so happy. Oh, doesn't she? And could you just not resist that face?
That's
That's
it.
the face of life.
Well, we're very involved with the therapy dog world here in our home and with our charity too. And I know the simplest part of it all is when the dog walks into the room, the energy changes.
100%.
We know what that is now. You touched on those things.
That's exactly right. And it's so interesting. I'll tell you a little bit of inside information.
Okay.
There is nothing like
Taking notes.
a big man with a little tiny dog, because the big guys actually tend to love these little dogs also. And I know that more now than ever, people are feeling anxious and struggling with mental health. And literally, pets provide companionship and unconditional love. No matter what is ever happening in my life, no matter what is happening in society, when I walk in that door, Mimi is there with her paws up, like, Mommy, welcome home. It is so good to see you. There is nothing like that.
That's the truth. Now you tell your husband he can join Toy Dogs Anonymous with me, and we'll talk together about all the small dogs and the big things they do for us.
I love it.
Yeah, we have a great time with the dogs, and they've changed our lives. They really have. And I can see how involved, how enthused you are about your life and your lifestyle and the things that you're doing now. What a great fit you are for the American Heart Association. Right? We got you with the heart issue. We got you with the dog issue. What's next? What are we going to do next with you?
But you know what? It takes a lot to come to terms with needing open heart surgery. I can tell you I was terrified, but I trusted my medical team, and I knew they'd give me the best chance for recovering and living a healthy life. You often don't know your purpose until you're walking in it. And I always say that this is really what I was put on this earth to do. Advocating for heart health and making this issue a front burner issue for people like me is really my purpose. And after open heart surgery, I realized I was given a second chance at life, an obligation beyond just myself to try to bring awareness to the number one killer of Americans any way that I knew how. And that's exactly what I've been doing for over a decade now. And so, yes, I am very, very involved in the business world, still keep my hand in the television world. I have been working very hard politically. I've been a Democratic surrogate for many, many, many years. But this is what I want to do. This is who I am, advocating for others, and especially advocating for people's heart health. And to be able to do that with my best friend here is just a blessing.
That's beautifully said. That was great. We have so much heart surgery that goes on in this world nowadays. When you had yours, had you had any exposure to it through relatives or anybody that you knew what was going on? My dad had heart surgery. I joked with him. I said, you know what? This surgery you're about to do on your heart, I said, it's routine surgery if it's anybody but you. So thanks to people affiliated with the American Heart Association and their researchers and doctors everywhere, I think we're getting a better grasp on it. But yours was 10 years ago. You might have been up on that front line.
Well, obviously, the research that the American Heart Association has funded over all these years has led to all of the things that really helped me throughout my heart disease process, I should say. And it's not just a matter of having a diagnosis of heart disease or even going through the open heart surgery. I always like to emphasize to people that there's a recovery period, and that recovery for me was to do what I call heart boot camp, which is to do cardiac rehabilitation. And open heart surgery saved my life, but cardiac rehab gave me my life back. And it was very, very important for me to start to get confident again, to know that I could walk, to know that I could run, to know that I could push myself beyond what I was feeling to try to get that requisite exercise. I'm so proud today that someone who never met a driver she didn't like is walking. Okay. I got up this morning and I did an hour and a half tennis, an hour and a half of cardio. The American Heart Association recommends that we get 30 minutes of active or activities for 5 days. Okay. So that's all we have to do, 30 minutes a day. We can do that 150 minutes a week. And I'm so proud. Today I already did 90 minutes and I was running. That's the kind of thing we want people to do. And with pets, you're able to do these things outside, even now in the middle of a global pandemic.
It's tough for all of us to be doing things now. I mean, you're already 90 minutes ahead of me for the day. My exercise is doing a Zoom. And so I gotta get more dedicated, but whatever you're doing, you sound great, you look great. Whatever you've got going, keep doing it, because I can see and hear that you believe in yourself and believe in what goes on around you. So that's great.
Absolutely. May I share with you, there's some special stuff that I do want to share, because today's Thursday and we're live, and I want to remind everybody tomorrow's Friday. And the Heart Association has been celebrating Best Friend Fridays all month long.
Yeah.
And so the American Heart Association's Healthy Bond for Life initiative started Best Friend Fridays last year to encourage pets in the workplace throughout the month of June. Well, now it is back again, and it's been revamped, obviously, a little to reflect the current times, and encourage people to incorporate pets into their workday, wherever and however they may be, as pet owners shift their daily routines during the COVID-19 pandemic. So you notice Mimi's not having any trouble being a part of the Zoom, because she is always a part of the Zoom. She will actually come over to me, put her hands up like, yo, can I say hi to the people? So whether it's in the form of a healthy distraction, like adding them as a guest to your next virtual meeting like I do, or just taking a walk break, pets can provide the means to keep people healthy, both mentally and physically, and of course, active while in the office after the workday has ended. So
well said.
Best Friends Friday tomorrow means what we're going to do.
I think you've already got a best friend right there.
Yes. We're gonna play. We're gonna have us a good time tomorrow.
Here's what we can do. Let's segue this into the virtual dog show, the International Heart Classic, and let's get people entered with their dog. They've got to get out and film their dog as if they were at a dog show. You can find the video for that at heart.org / healthy bond for life. You can get a little coaching tip from Tara Martin, who will tell you how to film your dog and get it ready to go. That's some exercise for you, at least, because all of us dog show people are anxious to get things going, and the American Heart Association and Canine Chronicle and Purina are all great partners for us to help make that happen. We're all going nuts. We want to get out. We want to see our friends. We want to get back into the dog show world. And this is a wonderful way for us to not only do that, but also support the great work of the American Heart Association. So, and you and the great things that you do. How can we do any better than that? What a great spokesperson you are for all of us. It's wonderful to have some time with you.
Oh, this is the easiest thing in the world I do, to talk about heart disease and healthy hearts, as well as supporting other women who are my heart sisters. It gives me purpose. It lets me wake up in the morning, and it makes me feel good before I go to sleep at night.
Tell me about your heart sisters. What kind of a group is that?
Well,
you guys meet? Do you Zoom? Do you?
Well, everywhere that I go, I am confronted with, sadly, women who are a part of the Heart Disease Club. And we don't have to have a formal organization. We just are, because heart disease is still the #1 killer of women. It's the leading cause of death in the United States, and especially when it comes to African Americans. And so that makes me 3 for 3. So I really and truly am focused on women's heart disease, just making sure people are aware that simple changes in your life can actually add years to your life. A full 80%, David, of heart disease is preventable by simple lifestyle changes, making choices about what you have to eat, what you put in your body, and then how you exercise. I like to say eat less and move more is the first step to a healthy heart.
That's nicely said. Nicely said. And we wanted to move more for the dog show. I don't want to keep bouncing back to that, but we're excited to have that kind of connection. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see Mimi. I'm excited to hear all the great things that have gone on in your life for the last 10 years.
So tell me, David, what is the eligibility for the virtual dog show? Because I think that Best Friends Fridays, we might be able to do something. Mimi, what do you think?
We could figure out something. If you had a show, what kind of a dog is Mimi? Is she
She's a full-bred Maltese.
Yeah. All right. Well, she can enter. All you have to do is go out and shoot her and film her for a judge to look at. You can look at Tara's video and figure out how to do that and have fun with it. That's what we want to do. We don't all need to be quite so serious about the dog show part of it, but we've got 133 judges, and we've got specialists in just about every breed. And that gives us the opportunity to share some of our senior people as judges with the dog show world. And it gives us all a chance to get in to do something where we can talk about it with our friends. So
fantastic.
We miss the dog show world. So let's get you. So now I know what kind of a show dog you have. You're Maltese. And that's great. Well, Tara Martin, who's very involved with organizing the dog show, is a Maltese breeder. Her mother actually bred and showed the top winning Maltese in history. So there you go. You got some tips, and maybe you've got an in with the judge. Vicki Abbott is judging Best in Show, and she's
Mimi.
I'll put in a good word for you guys.
Let's do it. All
right. How about some questions from the audience?
Okay.
I got a question here about what exactly we touched on a little bit, but what does Mimi do with your daily life to keep you in line and doing the things that you want to do and you're supposed to do?
Well, the first thing is she makes you move more. And in this global pandemic environment, or as like we like to call it, the new normal, people aren't moving as much. You're finding yourself in front of your computer or your devices or your television. Well, now that the weather has changed, even if you do nothing but go outside and sit on your front step and take your baby for a walk, that is one way to get yourself moving. So the ability to add some physical activity is the first thing that Mimi and any pet would do for you. But then also it helps with your mental acuity, that you and your pet can play games together. Just holding her reduces the stress level for me. Am I boring you, Mimi?
Come on, Mimi, fire up.
Mimi, we are in the middle of our interview, so we must at least talk to the people, okay? And I think that this just the unconditional love, which is what we talked about earlier, that can just give you balance and a little normalcy.
Well, dogs are spontaneous. I think that's the greatest thing about them. When you come home, does Mimi ever look at you and wag her tail and respond to everything you say like you're a genius?
Absolutely. And it's every single day, because no matter what anybody else thinks about me, Mimi thinks that I
That's right. I
am
know
the
that feeling. I don't always get that from everybody else in my home, but my dogs, they wag their tails and they're happy to see me and
You
know
better
how
believe
bright I
that.
am.
You better believe that.
What is it? What is it about them that allows them to be that way? What personality trait? We've hit on a few of them, but what exactly is it with Mimi? If you could pick one thing that carries you through the day and your relationship with her, what would that be?
Probably just kindness. If you notice of your dog, there is kindness in your animal. You look into her eyes, I can't imagine anybody ever doing anything to hurt her, because they're so innocent and just so loving to you. If you ever feel like there's nothing or no one that is paying you attention, or that you don't have a place to turn, if mentally you're spent, to have this animal in your life has made me know for certain that somebody loves me. And if nothing else, she's going to be looking for me. Mom, where's the food? Right,
My dogs, I always say my dogs love me because they know I know how to operate the can opener.
Uh-huh. Well,
that always helps.
She's looking for the bacon, always.
Looks great.
Always.
You're an incredible story. You're an incredible person, Star, and what you've been through and the strength that you've had in your personal life and the strength that you bring to the American Heart Association and to your dog and to dogs everywhere, just educating people about the great things with dogs. I'm glad that Mimi goes places with you so you can share that love and that feeling with people that may not know.
This Healthy Bond for Life is one that I'm just so proud to be a part of. This initiative speaks to the relationship that I already have, and it's one that I hope that other people will become a part of. It really and truly can change your life.
What a great place for us to bring it to a close. You've been a great guest, Star. I'd love to have you on any other time, but we hope that everybody will look into the American Heart Association's International Heart Classic Virtual Dog Show. Go to heart.org/healthybondforlife for information about entering, for more information about Healthy Bond and the great things that our companionship with our pets do for us. So Star,
and participate in the virtual dog show.
And come to the virtual dog show. That's right. We know the judges.
Yeah.
It's great
but
to
Mimi's
have you on.
Win. Mimi,
you gotta love that face. I'd show that face to the judge right away.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, Mimi. Bye-bye, Star. Thank you. Be well.